Good morning, good morning. So today is a catch-up day, meaning I'm just going to tell you all of the different stitches that we've used, and then we're going to do some details. So we're going to fill in this, and then we're going to maybe fill in this too. I might do all of them. I might not. I'm not sure. Depends on how long it takes. Good morning. I don't know why, but I woke up at about 2 o'clock last night and I could not get back to sleep. So I just read a book for like an hour, which didn't put me to sleep. I was just interested reading the book. Silly. So last week we started the stitch along. And we did the satin stitch for this flower here. We did the stem stitch, which is kind of like a rope for these little stems. Then we did the lazy daisy or detached chain stitch for the tiny little petals at the top. And then these kind of long leaves. Then we did the French knot at the top. Then the back stitch for down here. And then the whipped back stitch for here. I feel like the dark threads, it's always a little bit difficult to see what it looks like. Right, so I thought it might be nice for you guys to decide what you want to do for the rest of them. So if you want to leave these as just an outline, you can totally do that. And if you want to leave, not leave, actually, because you probably want to fill it in. But if you want to do like a satin stitch across, you can do that. Or if you want to do a satin stitch from here to here in one color, and then from here to here in one color, and kind of go around the circle, so it would look like this. You can do that. You can choose to do French knots all the way around in one color, or 3 colors. Jessie thinks it's time to play because I'm talking, and she's going to be very sad. I'm sorry, babe. I'm working. I'm doing my job. I know. Go lay down and we'll go out later, okay? She's just looking at me like, please play with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the satin stitch with 3 strands of a lighter green fabric here, and I'm going to do some French knots to fill these ones in. So I'm just going to get started. And I've put the second part of the pattern in my profile for you to download. So I'm really excited to see everybody's, one, how they fill in the rest of it, and 2, like the next part of the pattern. Like I kind of just want to do it all right now. I just get too excited, I think. So I'm going to do the French knot all the way around, all 6 strands, 3 wraps. Hi. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought today was Friday, and I was excited. But it is not, you guys. It's not Friday at all. Okay, so when you're doing French knots or you're doing anything and you see it kind of start to twist like this, it's good to just let your needle hang and untwist. Let the threads untwist themselves. So obviously it's more difficult when you have it on a stand, because normally I would just turn my hoop upside down and let it dangle and it will untwist. But anything to help you along the way, you know? Don't make it difficult for yourself. So I'm curious to know, what has been your favorite stitch so far? Oh, I'm sorry. She says it's a hell of a morning at work. 5-minute screen break to catch up with this. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's enough for that one. Whipped back stitch is my favorite for sure. I love that one. Satin stitch. See, I feel like people either really like it or they really hate it. Like, there's a couple people I know that are just like, I just can't do the satin stitch. I just don't like it. But I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to love every stitch. And if anything, it's just encouragement to like try different ones and see which ones that you like, and maybe ones that you don't like, you can get some tips and tricks and maybe be a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna do another color, but I think I'm just gonna do 2 wraps so I can get one in the middle. Fucking rooster is out there. She's only new at this, so I like them all. Aw. I think you'll find, like, when you start doing it more often, that there are some stitches that you just do not want to do. Like, you don't really look forward to it. So yeah, so I've done 3 wraps on the outside, all 6 strands, but I've wrapped it around the needle 3 wraps. And then for the light pink, I've done just 2, all 6 strands, but 2 wraps. But I think I'm gonna do just 1 in the middle if I can do it. It looks a bit filled, but I don't know. Helen Twinkle says, you helped me to rediscover the stem stitch. I feel like I don't use it as much as I should, because like it is really good for like flower stems or rope or like little details or outlines. Or sometimes I'll do for the wagon wheels that we're gonna learn in the next week. I think it'll be Sunday maybe? Wagon wheels on Sunday. I'll post the schedule tomorrow for the rest of the stitches for the week. But for the wagon wheel, sometimes I'll even do some stitch around the outside just to like, you know, make it a little bit nicer. I'll show it to you on Sunday so you can see what I mean. I don't even know if you'll be able to see this yellow. But I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. I like it. Right, so that's done. Like I said, you can choose whichever one you feel like. So if you want to do just some satin stitches across, that's fine. You can do back stitches around in a circle to follow the outline of the circle around. That's fine too. And then I think I'm going to fill in some of these leaves with, I have a scrap piece from a different piece that I'm working on, but it's this kind of light green color. I think I'm going to fill in some of these, but from the inside outwards with a satin stitch. So let's see how that looks. Oh no. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, so another way that you can kind of add some details is by the direction that you do your satin stitch. So I could just make them straight over, or I could make all of them on an angle like this and make it look like, where's my pen? So if I did them on an angle, it would look like this. Oops. Yeah? Or I can do them straight across. It just depends. Sometimes it depends if I want to do a whipped back stitch, I will definitely outline it first, because I do not want to try, like I said with the satin stitch yesterday, I do not want to try to do a whip back stitch on this, because you're always going to be fighting with these stitches and possibly snagging them up. But sometimes I'll fill it in and then decide later that I want to outline it just to make maybe the edges a little bit more crisp, or just depends on how I'm feeling. So this one I'll do this way just to have a little look at what it's going to look like. And like some of it is just personal preference. Like some people only like to fill it in first and then do an outline. Some people like to outline everything first and then go back and fill it in when they have time. It just depends on what you like. Ooh, 365 Stitches says, at work, shh, just a quick sneaky peek to see what you're up to today. Yeah, just like always, chatting, chit, and stitching. Jessie took herself back to bed upstairs to look out the window. So the only thing with doing the whipped back stitch first is that you really don't want to go on the inside, meaning bring your needle up in the middle of these, because then you won't get a nice line there. So it just depends on what you like, I think. And because I've only used 3 strands, it's going to take a lot more stitches to fill this in, whereas if I would have just used 6, it would have filled up quicker, but maybe not looked so smooth. What have I done? What have I done? So are we enjoying the stitch along so far? Do you like it? Do you find it difficult? Or what would you change for next time? I know it's only been 1 weekend, but I always like to make notes as I go for the next time I do one. Oh, Meg is here. I thought you were going back to bed. I hope you're feeling better. Is it just you that's sick, or is your whole family sick? Like, are the kids sick too? Can you hear that rooster? It's doing my head in. Who puts a rooster, like, in the middle of a neighborhood? Couldn't help myself, needed to watch. You're so sweet. I'm the last to be sick. Oh. It is the worst. Because David's a teacher, I feel like he comes home with it more, because there's always, I think he has 28 kids in his class, so there's always somebody who's sick. And then it just gets passed around in the school, like over and over and over and over again. Oh, that looks quite nice. Surprise myself sometimes, eh? Yeah, so like I won't do all of the leaves with you here because it will take ages, like way too long. And I want to prep the next part of the hoop with you so that you can see where to line up the pattern, because silly me didn't do the register marks like I normally do. So I used to do printmaking, and we would do like different layers. So we would do stuff like this. So like the first one would be kind of red, and then the next one would be pink, or the next one would be black. And you needed to do the register marks to make sure that you know where to line up your pattern so they all fit perfectly like a puzzle. And guess who didn't do it? Me. Oh. And then, of course, they get better, and then you get sick. So I used to be an art teacher, and I used to teach the whole school. So like David is year 6, so he only teaches year 6. But I used to do primary reception all the way until year 8 in my school. And so I taught literally every single child in the school. And people were always sick. People were always spreading things around. It's just this time of year, isn't it, though? It's starting to get a little bit warmer. There's something so therapeutic when the needle goes through the material. I like the sound of it, to be honest. I think it sounds so like, I don't know. That's our air vent making noises. My 4-year-old has had a runny nose for weeks. Oh my gosh. I feel like that's the very last thing to go as well. So it's like your coughing's gone, you're feeling better, but then you've just got this constant like... My mother-in-law hates it when people sniff. She always wants you to blow your nose. She thinks it sounds terrible. I think I've taken that on a little bit. You make this look so easy. Actually, Kirsten, I was at Poundland, which is like the dollar shop here, yesterday, and they've got a big, tall can of quote-unquote American hot dogs. And they've even got like the American flag on it and everything. And I was just like, no, this is not right. Please stop. Please stop. I was like totally going to send it to you yesterday. And then I forgot how to spell your last name. Like I couldn't remember what it was. And I was like, oh crap, I really need to go find her. There we go. So I think that one's going to be done. I'm going to take it off the stand real quick. And I'll do these by myself so that you guys don't have to sit through me doing that. And then the, whatchamacallit, video won't be like an hour and a half long. But I'll show you, I've already cut out the next pattern, which is available in my profile now. The link in my bio. move my stand and the cans and everything. So here we go. It totally is not the same. Okay, so because I'm lazy and I really don't want to take out my fabric again and turn it around and rehoop it and do all that kind of jazz, I've printed it out, cut it to the right size, and I'm going to hold it behind like this and trace it. Okay. So what you want to look for is this one here is going to be right at the tip of this one right here. Okay. Maybe I should put it in the actual screen so that you can see. What an idiot. Okay. So this one right here is going to be just right at the tip of this one. And then I'll show you where this one and this one are so that you can like position it. This one is right in between these two. And then this goes right here. So that should be enough to turn it. Just like that. So that's in between these ones. This one is just right in between these two flowers. And this one is right at the tip of here. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my chair. Hopefully you can see. Not the most perfect circles in the world, but that's okay. It doesn't need to look perfect. It doesn't have to be exact. What in the world is that? Oh, one more. You really don't have to add these. Ooh, I forgot to do the middle. Oh my goodness. Oops. Okay, let's see how I did. Not fantastic. Can you tell what it is yet? So there you go. I've put all of this, the next part of the pattern, transferred it on. Super easy peasy. And actually, I might go back and do a little bit of things here. I can't believe I forgot that. You guys need to remind me of these things. Finally, there's more that we get to look at because I feel like we've been staring at the same thing for weeks. Hi to people who've just joined. I'm almost finished, so sorry about that. But you can always watch the whole thing later on YouTube. Let's Let's find my needle. And I think I'm gonna do some light blue maybe. That might be quite nice. Maybe light blue? Orange? Ew, I'm feeling the orange. Purple? I don't ever choose purple. I'm gonna choose purple. Okay, so for this one, like I said, you get to choose whichever you want. I think I'm gonna do a lazy, yeah, right? I like the purple. The purple looks nice. I think I'm gonna do one big lazy daisy for each of the petals. So we'll see how that looks. And maybe we can do like one long straight stitch in there too. So we're just gonna come up from the middle, and you kind of want it to be, if you're gonna do a lazy daisy, like I am, which is these ones in the middle, I kind of want it to be centered. You could also just do some straight stitches if you want to make straight stitches, which means you could just go down right there, make it straight, and make kind of like a sunburst thing. But I'm gonna do the lazy daisy or detached chain stitch. So we're gonna go right back down. And then wherever you come up here, that's how big it's gonna be. So if I came up here, it's gonna be quite large. I like it. I'm doing it. And again, these are all optional details. You do not have to do this if you don't feel like it. If you like them just plain, leave it plain. It's really up to you. Don't pull too hard though, or you'll totally make the stitches go either way like I've just done. I like it. I think this is like the longest video ever. Sorry, guys. But after this, I'm done, I promise. And I might run out of thread. Three more and I'm out. Can you believe it? Like, no mail days today. Jesse's not asking to go outside for once. Oh, thank you. Amy's Bitchin' Stitchin' says, you've really made me want to try embroidery. Girl, do it. Do it. And like, if it doesn't look perfect, it doesn't have to look perfect. Like, that's the whole point, is it's supposed to look like you made it. So everyone's are going to be a little bit different, whether it's just you've done the stitches a little bit different, or maybe you chose different colors. They'll all look different, and that's totally fine. Like, don't worry about trying to make them be exactly the same as mine or exactly how they're like meant to be. If you find that doing a stitch, you do stitches a little bit differently than I do, that's fine too. There's no right or wrong way. I mean, if you look in like textbooks, there probably is, but that's not why we're here. So yeah, I think that's it. I showed you how to do the next pattern and where it goes. So that will be super helpful when you go to print out the next bit. We've done some details. Listen to me. That's good though. So Kirsten just said, oh, girl, when I stitch it shows that I need practice. Like, that's fine. It should. Yeah, I think it looks authentic. I think it looks like you made it. You didn't just like, it's not machine done. It's not done like, you know, industrial, like on a mass scale. You didn't buy it at Target. Like, bitch, I made this. That's why it looks like that. Appreciate the time. Right, well, that's me gone because this video is already way too long. But I cannot wait to see all of your details, the colors that you've chosen for yours. And can I print it on top of the first one? What do you mean print it? Oh yeah, maybe if you want to. If you can put it through the printer with the exact same settings and the exact same size and everything, it could probably print. I mean, have a go. Have a try. If it doesn't work, just make sure you get the point here. This one going between these two flowers, and then this one will like nestle right in the middle of there. So yeah, if you have any problems, I'll be around all day. I just need to pack up a big order. I'm going to be doing some stitching for myself. What else am I doing today? I'm writing the pattern for this one that I keep showing that I just haven't been able to finish. But I think if I don't do it, I think Dawn's going to like come to my house and probably sit me down at gunpoint and say, finish it, because she wants it for tomorrow. So I definitely need to spend some time on that. But I hope you guys have a great day. And that's me out.